It's a real pleasure for me to be with you in Dubai on the eve of the World Government Summit as we launch the first ever UAE Latin America and Caribbean Investment Forum. It's a powerful signal of how global investment is evolving. 5 years ago, I stood on the World Government stage for the first time, representing IFC, the World Bank Group, and it was the beginning of a very rich coordination and collaboration that leads to co-hosting today for the first time an event which is joining two important parts of the world. Today, we return not only as participants, but as co-host. A co-host for a new platform that connects two of the most dynamic regions of the Global South. They are united by ambitions, capital, and opportunity, and culture. My friend Juan Jose Dabu is a good example of that unity in culture between the two parts of this world. This forum brings together an extraordinary group of leaders and investors with a shared purpose to turn ideas into projects and projects into real economic impact, jobs, growth, and resilience. We meet at a moment when the map of global growth is being redrawn. I just came from Davos, and you can see and imagine that I witnessed some of the interesting conversation around that topic. Capital technology ambition are no longer flowing in one direction. They are increasingly moving across the global south between regions that see both opportunity and shared destiny. At the same time, uncertainty continues to weigh on investment decisions. That's why it's so important to distinguish between perceived and real risk, and to ensure that long-term capital is not held back from real, bankable opportunities. Why UAE? That's the first question. The GCC, and the UAE in particular, has made a clear strategic choice to diversify, to invest globally, and to shape the future of growth. The UAE has shown that what it means to govern with foresight, using long-term vision and disciplined investment to build one of the world's most powerful ecosystems for cross-border capital. Here, sovereign wealth, family capital, and corporate leadership come together to shape markets far beyond national borders into frontier sector when others might have been hesitant. IFC is very proud to be part of that journey. Over the five past years, our investment and the capital we have mobilized with the UAE has grown from 500 million to nearly $5 billion. Financing power, connectivity, water, and jobs across Africa, Asia, and some part of Europe. That is development at scale, driven by partnership. That's why we say that the missing part of this puzzle was Latin America. Together, IFC and the UAE are helping countries in the South and helping South-South investment, and this forum is destined exactly to do that for Latin America. Why Latin America? To put it simply, LAC is a land of opportunity that built for scales. I was lucky to work for 7 years in Latin America and live for 3 years on the continent of Latin America. I've seen the potential, I know the potential of that continent, and I know the role that it's playing in the world economy. The region has a robust, bankable PPP pipeline and major investment opportunities across infrastructure, logistics, agribusiness, mining, critical minerals. With 50% of the world copper and lithium reserves, Latin America is rich in critical minerals that will drive the energy transition. It's also home to some of the world's most productive farmland, making it the largest net food exporting region in the world. and it has enormous energy potential, from solar and hydro to gas, a new form we are exploring, such as green hydrogen. Last year alone, IFC mobilized close to $14 billion in private capital into the region. And I have my colleague Alfonso, Vice President for Latin America and Europe, will be able to tell you more about the specific sector in which we have invested. This is a key evidence that LAC can absorb large and long-term investment at scale. With ambitious governments, deep reform agendas, and the private sector ready to partner globally, Latin America offers scale, diversity, and momentum. I insist on momentum because the continent is entering a phase where market-led economies will be taking a bigger share of the GDP of Latin America. And the UAE, with its capital, global reach, and long-term vision, is uniquely positioned to be a strategic partner in that growth story. What I say to my friends from Latin America, who were often looking at the North for a source of investment, after them look a little bit on the other side of the world and use the different source of financing to grow your economy and make the economy what it should be and what it will be in the future, as I can see the future as being very promising. Let me say a few words to conclude. IFC is proud to stand at the center of the UAE-LAC connection, and we will repeat this exercise if you want, because you consider that the future of the world lies largely in what is happening in Latin America today. We believe the future of development will be built through partnerships that mobilize private capital in service of public goals. This is why this forum matters. It brings together some of the world's most dynamic source of capital with one of its most promising regions for growth. Over the next 2 days, we invite you to speak candidly, identify where interests align, where risks still hold you back, and where IFC and the World Bank Group can help make projects truly investable. Our role is to create markets, reduce risk, and mobilize capital so that opportunity become reality. We look forward to working with all of you and helping turn this moment into an era of partnership between two regions that can shape the next chapter of global growth. Mr. President, thank you for joining us in this session, and I thank all of you and welcome you to this session. Thank you very much.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm actually very honored to be here with you this afternoon and to be able to attend this high-level investment forum on Latin America and the Caribbean. We are also honored to have His Excellency the President of Paraguay. Your Excellency, I've been to your country long time back, maybe about 10 years. It was a great experience for me also. That was prior to Expo here in Dubai. My first experience in Latin America was actually then. I took this flight from Sydney to Buenos Aires. It was a night flight. By the time we were almost landing, it was dusk. It was just, the sun was almost rising. I could look down and see all the potential, all the numbers of rivers, the fertile lands that's down there. And you cannot but think about the opportunities that continent has, and the importance of building a relationship between our side and your sides. But also what is wonderful is the history that connects us. Going back to the Andalusian time, our civilizations has intertwined together and produced probably some of the best civilization the world has seen, particularly also in Europe. But today, I am here on behalf of the Dubai Chambers. And I would like to thank the World Government Summit and also the International Finance Corporation for their role in organizing this timely dialogue. We are honored to be joined by the leaders from government. We have also the private sector over here. We have also investment and family enterprises from both regions. This gathering reflects also a shared commitment to building partnership. that supports sustainable and inclusive growth. Achieving this will take more than good intentions. We need to do a lot more than what we are doing right now. And based on my previous experience as a Minister of Economy, probably the best idea to do that is to continue that kind of communication between the two sides. The business side will be very important in terms of the facilitation between the Chamber of Commerce, the private sector, but also how we sustain that kind of follow-up between our two sides. We need to know each other much more. We need to understand more the diversity of the continents that you cover, actually. I was looking at some of the numbers that probably has not been announced. 670 million are actually the population of South, Central, and the Caribbean. That's a huge market. Now it has a GDP of around 7.4 trillion US dollars. Again, that's huge. 32 countries. Again, it's a very important number for all of us. But how can we, all of us, from this side of the world, can actually coordinate closely with you? Do we have the right sort of a system that we are actually, or can actually, implement based on this distance that we have? Or are there any different kinds of modes that we can actually facilitate the ability to communicate, understand each other, and maybe also identify the investment potential that you both have? When I look at the 32 countries and trying to understand what are the potential investment in these nations, it's very diverse. I mean, when I look at it, you have huge potentials, starting with the agricultural strength that we have, and we receive a lot of new products here in the UAE, and Dubai actually act as a re-export center for a lot of your products coming from different parts of the world. We enjoy the Colombian mangoes, the small ones. That's became a big shot. I think I have a friend over there from Colombia. I have that hat also. Huh? And of course, moving all the way to many other resources, including, of course, mining, including, of course, tourism. One of the challenges I faced when I was in South America was how I can actually hop between one city to the other by the easiest way. And it was, honestly, it was a challenge. And maybe this is another area of investment that we can identify, can agree on. UAE and Dubai in particular has succeeded in the aviation business, and especially in tourism also. Creating a point of tourism between here and different Latin American nations is probably one of the targets that we really need to add. There isn't enough marketing and advertisement of what the Latin America and South America in particular can provide for the tourists coming from here. So maybe a proper studies of what can be identified as a potential to bring in more tourists from the UAE and beyond. Dubai, of course, is a very unique experience. I always look at people who think that you need to have oil to be able to create something. For your information, Dubai doesn't have oil. Dubai doesn't have oil. And the journey of the past 50 to 60 years was built on people like me, the leadership, the people, the openness, the tolerance that Dubai actually can have, and also determination to achieve. We had clear targets, what we want to achieve, starting with the proper infrastructure. Number one, in Dubai, because being a trading center, that was our main targets. Secondly is how to create this kind of an environment which is very attractive for people coming from all over the world. And that's why you probably noticed that we have probably more than 180 to 200 nationalities living nicely. We don't ask your background, where you're from, or wherever. It's what you can do to contribute, to build within, as a team with us, this place, which is called Dubai. We also have really success story in terms of our bilateral trade. I mean, when I look at the figures of 2024 between UAE, non-oil trade with Latin America and the Caribbean, numbers is actually around 14.9 billion US dollars. That's not a bad number considering, that the distance that we have between our side. I personally feel that we should actually double, if not triple. These are the targets, President, maybe, and your team can always put. And we will work together closely to be able to achieve these results. So going from basically 15 billion to 30 billion, to even double it to 60 billion, is not impossible. It is possible. All what it needs is some coordination between our two sides. Now, this growth, actually, if we take it between the 23 to 20, between 23 and 24, this actually achieved almost 11.9% year-to-year growth, which is excellent. Meanwhile, from the almost 15 billion US dollars trade UAE and Latin America and Caribbean, 12.4% of that, 12.4 billion of that is actually coming to Dubai. So you can see the importance of the role that Dubai plays in this. Also, at the same time, the number of companies from Latin America and the Caribbean, they have registered as active within the Dubai Chamber of Commerce. We are just talking about Dubai Chamber. By the way, Dubai Chamber has about 300,000 members. It's one of the most active in the region, one of the largest in the world. The growth is about 19.7% in 2025. We have around 1,870 companies which are registered within the Dubai Chamber, and they are coming from South America and the Central America and the Caribbean. I do feel that this number is also conservative. We need to focus more on that. Probably also some of our businesses and companies can explore the potential of partnership with businesses in the Latin American, Caribbean, and Central America also. Our commitment as the Dubai Chamber of Commerce has always been deep in terms of building these kind of relationship. We facilitate this connection, and what we have done actually as a part of our policy and our strategy, we have opened a number of offices currently in Sao Paulo, Buenos Aires, Bogota, and Mexico City. This is mainly just to help companies to identify opportunities, build trust relationship, and also as well navigate the new markets with confidence. This is where we need also the assistance from the governments, from the Chamber of Commerce in these respective countries to open that kind of a dialogue between our two sides and basically also identify the opportunities of investments. One final word which I have, which I faced so many challenges with, nations and governments usually talk about investments and attracting investments. They might identify these sectors, but one of the biggest challenges that we face is going deeper than that, which is basically identifying the actual projects which, with the right feasibility studies, are available within these nations that we can actually take and we can study, we can evaluate, and then we get more interested to be able to invest in this. So a lot of time we meet with these governments, we talk and discuss, and it's always the wider outline of things rather than going into the details of this. We want that to change. We want to see more feasibility studies on certain projects that we can immediately some decisions on. This is the way we work over here. It's fast, efficient, and we make decisions at the right time also. To see you here, it really gives me a lot of confidence that this dialogue today will contribute, of course, to the strengthening of our partnership between our two regions, as well as transform the shared priorities into real economic impact. Once again, I want to thank you very much. An honored, President, to have you with us. Thank you very much.